Adam here from the Walzer Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is compare a couple of the all-new Nissan ARIYA models. So to my left, I have the Platinum Plus and the all-wheel drive E-Force, and on the other side here, I have the Evolve Plus front-wheel drive. So we'll look at the interior, the exterior, and see which one might be right for you. Okay, so let's start with the exterior on the Evolve Plus. Now again, this is going to be the front-wheel drive model. There's a lot of different trims, so bear with me as it can get a little bit confusing, but I kind of wanted to break down a few of the trim levels today so you can see which one might be right for you. Now both models are going to ride on the same 19-inch wheel. Now it looks really cool with the black on black in the Evolve Plus, but I also really like that white paint on the Platinum Plus. Now we'll get to that one in a little bit, but as far as this one is concerned, there's going to be a few different options. So let's talk for a second about the range. Now on the front wheel drive Evolve Plus that I have here today, this one is going to have a total estimated range of 289 miles. Now the motor in this one is the 170 kilowatt, which is going to give you 238 horsepower. Now that is a ton of fun on the road, and it only goes up from there when looking at the Platinum Plus. So some of the exterior features will remain the same whether you're looking at the Platinum Plus or the Engage, which is going to be kind of the base trim level. Now the grille design and the LED headlights are really cool. I love the design language that Nissan used on this vehicle, and all of them are going to carry that through the LED headlights as well as tail lights, and the overall design is going to remain unchanged. You'll notice a lot of different aerodynamic cues, whether that's in the front or on that kind of little ducktail spoiler on the back. A lot of it is going to help you get the best possible range. So this vehicle will also come with Nissan Safety Shield 360. So what does that mean? That's going to be all of your standard safety equipment, whether that's blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, lane departure warnings. There's a host of different things inside, which we'll cover a little bit more. But first, let's hop over and check out the Platinum Plus. Okay, so now on the Platinum Plus, let's get the confusing stuff out of the way first. So this is going to have the 290 kilowatt motor, and that's going to give you 389 horsepower. So this is a little rocket ship on the road, and with the all-wheel drive system, you are going to have that sure-footedness to back up that extra horsepower. But unfortunately, with the extra horsepower and the all-wheel drive system, your total range dips a little bit to 267, as both have that same 87 kilowatt battery pack on board. Now a few styling cues that are different. Like I mentioned, this is the upgraded paint, which looks simply stunning out here in the sunlight. It's got a little bit of a metallic look to it, and Nissan's always had really cool colors, and this two-tone with the white and black looks awesome. But from there, only a few of the other differences you'll notice. This does have the LED side mirrors. Both are going to have the 360 surround camera, so you will see that in the side mirror. And this also is going to have two of those shark fin antennas on the back, which you might notice. So what that's for is ProPilot 2.0. So again, we'll cover that a little bit more on the inside, but let's hop back over to the Evolve Plus and we'll check out that one. Okay, so now we're in the Evolve Plus, and like I said, there's going to be a lot of similarities between the two, but I wanted to start in this one first so you can kind of see more of that mid-trim level equipment. So in the seats are extremely comfortable. Now these are a little bit different as they kind of have like an Alcantara suede with a leatherette mixed in here. They're also perforated, and they're going to be heated for the Minnesota winters. So that's as easy as just clicking the button on the screen here, whether it's through your climate control, or you can bring it up right away to access your heated steering wheel and heated seats. Now from there, the infotainment screen, great, really easy to use. You can swipe through your standard settings. There also is going to be wireless Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto, and I've already got my phone charging. So there's wireless charging in the Evolve Plus model, which is pretty cool. Now from there, the backup camera. Like I mentioned, this has the 360 camera, so you can click it, and there's a little camera button here, so you can actually scroll through without being in reverse, which is pretty cool. So if you have a tight parking space or a busy grocery store or getting at that Costco on Saturday, you know how crazy that can be, so that 360 camera is definitely going to save you there. Now, one of the other neat things, they left a volume knob here, so you can actually turn the volume up and down. You're not messing with the steering wheel or trying to mess with the touch screen. I like that they left that, as well as a track skip. So the regular climate control can be controlled through the infotainment screen, but there's also haptic, kind of ghosted feedback here that you can feel. It's really cool. You just get a little bit of that haptic feedback when you're changing this. That's going to be for your climate control. It's really cool. It kind of hides away in there. I like that touch a lot right next to your power button here, but that's cool. That's one of those neat features. They didn't need to do that, but it adds kind of a futuristic feel to an EV vehicle, and I really, really like that feature. Now, just below that, you'll notice there's a little open and close button here. So if I hold open, there's a pretty cool little storage compartment that pops out. So you can keep things locked away in here, and if you closed it again, it would be totally hidden. You can kind of put whatever you want in the little storage, but it was meant to be kind of a laptop, so if you're on the go, working out of your vehicle, you can set your laptop here if you're parked. Pretty cool little feature there. You just click it again, and that's gonna close it. Now the other haptic feedback here is going to be E-Step, which is kind of like a one-pedal driving system, which is going to help you regen a little bit more of that energy back, and then your different drive modes. So Eco, Normal, and Sport, you can flip between them there. The other cool thing with this, it moves forward and back. So that's going to be all of the Nissan ARIYA models have that feature built in, and you just have your cup holders here, and then your shifter, which is pretty cool. So this frees up a lot of space. It makes it able to move this, and since there's no transmission tunnel, you do get a lot of floor space as well, and then additional USB charging down below. So back to our infotainment or gauge cluster here, all of the information you need is right at your fingertips. This also is going to have the heads-up display, so you want to be focused on the road ahead. And like I said, with that Pro Pilot Assist with Navi-Link in this model, it's going to give you blind spot monitoring, forward collision, lane departure warning, and then you also have an adaptive cruise control. So that's a pretty cool feature that's going to help keep you very safe when you're on the open road. But the digital cluster in here, it's not a ginormous screen, it kind of runs across here, and I like that. Like I said, everything you need is right at your fingertips. You can click through the little settings here. You can see maybe your eco history or some of your tire pressure, some of your basic settings that you would need, or audio stuff, and it makes it great right in front of you, and then your navigation or whatever you might have going on the right is very, very cool. So a few other things, this model does have the power folding mirrors, it will have memory seats, and it also does have the panoramic sunroof. So in the back seat, there is USB plugs back here as well for your rear passengers, also heated seats, and it's gonna have a ton of legroom because you don't have a big transmission tunnel running through. The EV vehicles always have a lot of additional legroom in the back. So if you got the kids back there, you can easily fit 4 or 5 people very comfortably in this car. And with the cargo hatch, you have a ton of room in the back. So that's going to be a power lift gate on this model. Pop it open and you've got a lot of storage space back there and a little bit additional space underneath the floor so you can keep that charging cable there. Okay, so now we took a brief look at the Evolve Plus. Let's hop over to the Platinum Plus because you're going to like what's in that one. So inside the Platinum Plus, immediately you notice the difference. Now I'm a huge fan of this interior. With the white exterior, this has the blue leather seats with this really cool stitching that flows through. There's white stitching on here and some kind of bronze colored stitching that runs through. Same in both models, you also have the bronze that runs through the dash here. And then you get like a blue Alcantara. It is so cool. It flows through the door cards and then onto the dash. I love this interior. It looks so good in here. I mean, it really does make a difference. That seat is comfortable, but these you can feel the real leather, and the seat is, going to be heated as well as vented for this one. So you can click the little button, turn on your air conditioned seats. It's hot today, so that is a pretty cool feature to have. Now, from there, this one in the back, these are also going to have the heated seats, and that blue leather kind of flows through the back as well, but same interior dimensions, same panoramic sunroof in this one, and a lot of the same infotainment setup. Now, one of the other things I forgot to mention in the previous one, they both have the digital rear view mirror. So if you're going on maybe a weekend trip or going up to the cabin, or you got a bunch of stuff piled in here and you can't quite see out of the back, you can flip the mirror here, and what that's gonna do is give you a digital feed out of the back camera. Really cool, makes it very helpful, even if you're just backing up or trying to figure out what's behind you. That's a great little feature there. So same backup camera in this model, the only difference being this one has Pro Pilot parking. So you'll notice the P auto down here. So what that does is when I click it, you'll hear it beep, and that system will start looking for a parking space. So whether that's for a parallel parking or just standard parking, it's gonna help you out with the 360 camera. We have a full video on how that works, so I'll link that below if you wanna check it out, but it's a pretty cool feature there. Now, this one has Pro Pilot 2.0. So again, we have another video on that. I won't spend a ton of time going through that, but it's a pretty cool adaptive driving system. When you're out on the road, it will help you with lane changes with your adaptive cruise control. It's a really cool feature, and it pops this little car up here. I actually really like it because when you hit the brake lights, it hits the brake lights, and when you click the blinker on, one of those goofy things, but for Nissan, I thought that was a pretty funny little kind of Easter egg hidden in there and pretty cool. Now the standard heads-up display is going to be in this model, but this one does add the Bose sound system. So that is a huge upgrade over the standard speakers. So you'll see the little Bose, and it runs throughout the whole car and sounds so good, especially when you've got your wireless CarPlay going with your Spotify. It is a pretty cool upgrade. So this one gives you 389 horsepower. Now that's a ton of power, and this has the same drive modes you can kick it in, but this one also adds the snow. So they figured with the E-Force all-wheel drive system, you might want to have the four-wheel drive mode for snow, which is pretty cool. So the immediate power is definitely a big difference with this one. The blue leather interior is a huge upgrade from any other of the trim levels that comes in the Platinum Plus. And I mean, beyond that, the overall look doesn't really change on the exterior. It depends on, do you want a little extra range with the front wheel drive? Do you want the sure-footedness of the all-wheel drive system in the Minnesota winters? It's probably a good idea to have. And these vehicles are great in the snow. That battery pack has a lot of weight centered down low, so it's going to give you a ton of grip, and some good snow tires on one of these. You can get through just about anything. But overall, I mean, the price changes a little bit when you look from the Evolve Plus to this one. There's about a $20,000 swing from the base model to the Platinum Plus in the all-wheel drive trim. So it really breaks down to your budget, what you're looking for equipment-wise. Do you want all the bells and whistles and goodies? It's pretty awesome, but again, you are going to pay to get all that stuff. I think you really gotta get out, drive one, see what you think. I mean, once you're behind the wheel, you really get a good feel for, maybe I don't need that much power, or maybe I do want the additional power. There's a lot of good stuff to like on the Nissan ARIYA, and it's definitely worth coming out and checking one out. Okay, so that was just a quick look at a couple of Nissan ARIYAs. Now, if you'd like more information, maybe to schedule a test drive, you can visit us in person at any one of our Nissan locations or online at walser.com. Thanks for watching.